Let's go. Very good.
We're in?
We're in,
baby.
We're in, baby.
Right, mic check. Mic's in a good position. A lot of complaints on the last episode with your mic.
Oh, that's all right.
Coming in like a young Darth Vader. Kick us off, Bri. What are we doing? What are we doing today?
All right, cool. Welcome back. Welcome in.
I think you're going to say, cool, welcome. All right.
Too many bloopers of that one. All right, let's kick it off with our kind of training updates. How's your training going?
I'm really enjoying my training. So I recently changed my coach.
Yeah.
So off the back of my last comp, changed my coach. I'm now with our beloved John Bermudez that you see in the photo there. And it's exciting. It's exciting times. I'm enjoying the training. So yeah, my blocks I've been having have been both conventional and sumo for deadlifts. And, I've been reluctant. I really want to hold on to sumo because it just feels so nice.
So much better, yeah.
But conventional's starting to feel a little nicer.
Really?
But objectively, my technique's still a bit off. My back's awfully rounded and stuff. But I don't know. I think it's going to get to a little bit of a dilemma. For those of you that don't know, most power lifters around my body weight would be a conventional lifter, which essentially means that their feet are closer together. And then for the sumo pullers, then the legs are further apart. And then that's a whole conversation on itself with different opinions and stuff.
A whole different technique.
But it's more common for lighter lifters to use the sumo technique. That's the technique I've used up to date and found success with it, and it feels good. But yeah, at the minute we're just playing around with a couple of things.
Yeah.
Seeing how it goes.
Got you benching 4 times a week?
I'm on bench 4 times a week, and I'm enjoying it. I don't know why I haven't been doing it sooner. It feels good.
Yeah, very good.
I'm excited to see if it helps. My bench has probably been lagging.
Except for me, I'm also on benching 4 times a week. I feel like a lot of people would just see me bench and nothing else.
Yeah.
Reason for that.
I only see you yapping because you finish by the time I come in.
Yeah, because I do my work.
I don't witness the work being done.
And I do my 6 sets of yap.
Yeah, and you do hit those 6 sets hard.
I do.
So this is now our coach frame as such. It started off with our beloved John and the local guru, but he's now our coach. So Coach Carter's in the frame there.
Bravo.
Yeah, bravo. Bravo performance, just in case you didn't know. And that's going to stick, John, if you don't
he
don't name yourself.
He currently doesn't have a name, but we're making it stick.
Bravo performance. I like it. I think it's good.
It too.
Yeah.
I like it too.
How's your training going?
Oh, my training's going up and down.
Roller coaster, eh?
Yeah, roller coaster.
And why is that?
Benching's going great, as I mentioned, 4 times a week, no issues. The issue that I have is sciatica. So I have a pinched nerve, which can be a little painful at times.
Yeah.
So we've kind of dabbled in the deadlifts. Deadlifts are going fine, but as soon as I touch any squats, that's when my leg starts to flare, and it's quite hard to kind of push, which makes it a little bit tricky. We know that movement is key. It's not so much resting on it, finding something that works and then strengthening around.
Yeah.
But currently it's going up and down. So we dialed back the squats, but we still look to get a good bench and good kind of deadlift for the meantime. So that's the plan. The plan is still going to be, it's not Summer Cup anymore. It's going to be Autumn Cup.
Dragon's Harvest.
Dragon's Harvest.
We're going to be harvesting the dragon, baby.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, we're both doing that.
Both doing that one, yeah. And
also, Big Bad Reese. Obviously, a little reminder here of the GRD trophy. But Reese had planned to do the ST comp later on in the year in December with all of his other friends. And when he found out that I was doing Dragon's Harvest, he's decided to do that one as well. Part 2 will be Dragon's Harvest. So it'll be interesting to see how we've both progressed from the Phil Richard Classic.
Yeah.
And then that's a nice amount of time as well. So hopefully we both have PBs all round. Yep. I think it'll be a hard reality for Reese when the time comes, because we were quite close in the Phil Richard Classic.
Yeah.
But I think that gap will be much bigger after the Dragon's Harvest.
You hear that?
I think it could be upsetting for him.
We need him back. He's defenseless right now. He can't fight.
This is punishment for not being here today.
Yeah, he's not fighting his corner. We did ask if he wanted to come here, and
said the nerves were already setting in, I think was what you'd said.
Yeah, he said work.
Yeah.
Work until 6.
Yeah,
it's a Friday.
Yeah.
Like, who works at 6 on a Friday?
Yeah, I don't even think he works Fridays.
I don't know.
So, but we have to respect what he says, whatever he wants to.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Dragon's Harvest is going to be a really fun day for us all. So
It'll be a good day out.
What will be really interesting, so at some point during this session, we're going to be talking about Welsh Champs, and we'll both be doing Dragon's Harvest as our qualifying totals for Welsh Champs 2026.
That's the goal.
So it'll be really interesting, actually. So we'll be able to kind of share our journey into Dragon's Harvest, which is around autumn time, and then that will set us up nicely then for Welsh Champs the following year. Looking at the upcoming Welsh Champs, 2 lifters that are standing out to me are Tamara Dunkley, I believe, and then Carol McQuillan Edwards now.
Yep.
Obviously, I say recently married, I think it's quite a while ago now, but yeah, so congratulations nonetheless. But yeah, so both of these athletes, these female athletes, have gone through injuries. They were both very strong before the injuries.
Carol, even top 5 strongest ladies in the whole UK.
So looking at Welsh Champs and the 2 athletes we just mentioned with the injuries, the numbers they had put up before these injuries. So Tamara, her best GL 94.74.
Before we go into that, Dalton,
this is a good point.
Do you know what GL means?
GL, what it means.
We're gonna ask the gym.
We will ask the gym. So, got a mic on, right? Just a quick question.
Yeah.
What does GL stand for?
Good lift.
Oh,
Yeah,
straight. Yeah, that's no good. That's right. That's right. Right. We all know that we get gauged off GL points.
Yeah.
What does GL stand for?
Well, for me, it stands for freedom. It stands for greatness. But I don't know what it
So the
stands
G's
for.
greatness.
Yeah, the G's greatness.
Do you know what GL just stands for? So GLP. So we know the P is points. Do you know what GL stands for? Good lift. Right. We only just learned it as well. John seems to know these things, but was on your ear, right? GL points, right? What does the GL stand for? No. There's no S in there.
Good lift.
This is really letting things down. Yes, that's well done. Move.
Is it?
You moved. Right. So we all know about GL points. GL points.
Yeah.
What does the GL stand for?
It's around 85. What's yours?
No. You misunderstand. God damn it. What does GL stand for? The initials. So we know the P is points. What's GL? We got him. We got one.
I thought it's good lift points. GL.
It is good lift points. How'd you just sell it like you didn't know and then you just pull it out of the back pocket? You let me down there. How's it going?
Going well.
Just a quick question for you. So we know about GL points. Yeah, we know the P stands for points. Do you know what GL stands for?
No.
See, I like how he's just straight to the point. Your brother sold it for 12 seconds that he didn't know and then pulled it out.
I have no idea.
So the GL stands for good lift. Good lift points. Now you know. We're here to help people. Quick one, right? So we know about GL points.
Right.
We know the P stands for points. What does GL stand for? Do any of you know what GL stands for?
Good lift points.
Get him out of here! Right? We know that the P stands for points. What does GL stand for?
Good lift.
I love how she mimic my whole robotic GL points. Good. Yeah, I get my steps in here, bro. It's a bit awkward with the old riggers on, you know. Get that out of my ass, bro. Just a quick question, Mikey. Right. We know that GL points. So we know that the P stands for points. Do you know what the GL stands for?
Good lift.
More people know this than we expected. Yeah, it's kind of making bad content, really. We'll cut out the ones that know and we'll keep the ones that don't. Cheers, Mikey. Thank you very much. Well done. You know GL points, so we know that the P stands for points. Do you know what the GL stands for? We got one. It stands for good lift. Good lift points. We learnt this yesterday with our research. We're trying to spread the love. GL. Also, obviously, people will call it GL points, so it's supposed to be GLP. stands for good lift points.
That is very good. Yeah.
And you nearly caught me off with that one, so thank you for that.
So good lift points are basically stats, a number or value that you would give a person based on their weight to how much weight they have lifted. So if a lifter was light and they lifted more, the higher the GL.
Yeah, and it's a great way of us being able to compare bigger lifters with smaller lifters. So, for example, with me and Kelly, obviously we're able to kind of get our GL points. I'm a 120 male. She's a 57 female, and it just kind of gives us something to gauge each other and kind of give each other some competition and understand where we're at with our current levels, I suppose. So yeah, it gets really interesting. But yeah, good lift points. I bet not many people know that if they're asked on the spot. So yeah, going back to Tamara. Her best GL points to date are 94, just shy of 95, which is incredible. And then Carol is 92.4, which is also incredible. So the good news is both of these women are competing in this year's Welsh Champs. Their most recent GL points, so while they've been on the road to recovery, the most recent GL points put up by Tamara was 83.73, and then by Carol was 85. So we're hoping between putting that one up and Welsh Champs that they're going to be close to their best, and if they are, then it's going to make saucy contention for best lifter.
Yeah, definitely.
It sure will.
Yeah. In terms of kind of like gauging kind of how good a GL is, so currently around 70 is a pretty, I would say, a decent lifter, like around 70. 80, you're basically getting to the higher numbers. 90 is your contenders for national level kind of lifting within the UK. So at these points, maybe the higher 90s will be selected to go away on international tournaments. So to give you kind of like a perspective on when we talk about GLs, people around the 80s are very good. 90s better, and then a little bit beyond that is elite level. So a little bit of ground rules going before we talk about Welsh Champs. This part of the section of this podcast is now going to be a little bit jargon heavy. So in terms of kind of like now GL points we'll refer to, you'll hear us throughout our kind of like opinions going into Welsh Champs. So at least you have an understanding of what we're talking about, and you can follow along. Go back, listen to it again. We get more views. You understand more. This is what we want.
I think it's important to kind of explain that to people that maybe don't know so much about powerlifting, that with the little that we currently know, we're going to do our best to do a deep dive and analysis on the upcoming Welsh Champs, and we will naturally find a rhythm talking about GLs and different jargon with powerlifting. So apologies if it's not all understood while we're going through that.
So Welsh Champs, it's not your run-of-the-mill regional competition.
Nope.
It is a qualifying competition, so you need a total, which is a requirement within each category. So a person of 83 kilos for a male, they would have to reach a number of a total qualifying total before they can actually enter this tournament. So each weight will have their own different QT qualifying total.
Yeah, exactly that.
At this level, the level of lifting is more refined in terms of standards. The referees are generally a lot stricter with decisions and rulings.
There's also a jury. That's quite important to note, because in your divisionals, so for example, the two competitions I've done, we're both divisionals, and they were just 3 referees. It's a little bit more casual, and sometimes you can have a little bit of luck go your way with obviously how you've executed one of your attempts. With Welsh Champs, it's once a year. You have to have the qualifying total, as Brian mentioned, for your weight category, and So you have to have the qualifying total for your weight category, and then not only, so when you do execute your lift, you've got your 3 referees, and then you've also got the juries. So if you don't get 3 whites, one white light is representing each referee. If you don't get 3 whites, then there's a chance the jury could take a look at it. And then with the jury taking a look at it, it'd be a couple of people like ourselves. Well, not quite us, but you'd have people to the side with screens, qualified, and they will be able to watch the footage back and critique it and make sure the correct decision is made. So the standards are higher with Welsh Champs. All the best lifters in Wales will come together. They would have had to have done at least one competition to qualify for it. So yeah, it's kind of, if you've got a bit of a passion with powerlifting and you live in Wales, this would be the competition that you would look forward to most.
Overview, but this is kind of like also the hub to bring in kind of like the best lifters in Wales. So we'll see kind of like the best of the best. They are beyond exceptional in terms of kind of their lifting styles. A lot of them will have lifted for GB.
Yeah.
And this is another stepping stone before you go beyond.
Yeah, but another good thing about it is for the up and coming lifters, you know, they're able to rub shoulder to shoulder with people that maybe they look up to in their weight category, because naturally we'll all do it. Brian's an 83, I'm a 120, and I'll be looking at other 120 males and you know, people that I kind of look up to. I think, oh, you know, how does he execute his lifts? What technique changes does he have? What technique differences does he have in comparison to me? And what can I do to try and get to his standard? And Brian would do the same with the 83s. Kelly does the same with the 57 females.
Yeah, as a budding lifter, you want to rub shoulders with the better lifters, because you learn so much competing with them. Essentially, when you are lifting with a competition, they bring you up.
Yeah.
So in terms of kind of lifting in this level of competition, you learn a lot more.
Yeah.
It's not just one lifter dominates. Essentially, there's so many people that could take on that top title within that category.
So, something that is really cool is, so the previous year's champions get like an automatic entry into the following year. So you will have the current Welsh champions as such showing up to kind of defend those titles, which is really interesting. Yeah. We're going to be because we're not competing, and I'm back from my holiday a few days before, we're probably going to be fanboying, really, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. This overview of what we're going to go through now isn't so much we just want to highlight the best lineups. So not necessarily the best lifters. We will talk about the best lifters, of course.
Yeah.
But they're also, if you look really close within kind of the roster within Welsh Champs that's currently out, the fight for second place is a lot more exciting, you know?
Yeah.
Some people might be just leagues ahead, you know, GLs ahead, but in battle for second place might be
more up for grabs for different athletes. Yeah. So
definitely.
So we've essentially picked out you know, points that matchups that we think are most interesting, or the closest, I suppose, isn't it?
You've done some extensive research on open powerlifting, found the best matches within the category.
When we say extensive, if anybody's got a problem with it, please tell me.
Yeah.
But I'm no specialist. Probably not competent to do so, but we're going to do our best. Yeah, it's us trying to make the best of what we know and what we've got access to. But these lineups, I'm very excited with. Yeah. And I'm going to be watching these come game day.
Yeah. If we have any of our information wrong, please let us know on Instagram at the Loaded Plates Podcast.
Yeah. Let us know. DM us.
Let us know. So we want to call this segment Loaded Predictions.
Yep.
So we're going to go through each category in Welsh Champs, weight category, the ladies, the men's, but we just want to highlight the kind of like close contentions.
Yeah, we've gone with 10. So we had to stop somewhere. We've got 10 points that we're really fascinated by, and we want to put a spotlight on. So these are going to be the 10 things that we look at with the loaded predictions. We'll give our predictions on them. And then our aim when we go through is to try and get them all right. So it's kind of like an accumulator. Yeah. So we're going to talk through it. Hopefully we make sense with what we're talking about. And then there'll be things we agree on and then things that we don't.
Yeah.
But then at the end, we'll kind of have documented what we've said and then see if any of us can get them all right.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, we're up against it, but we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
All right. First section is women's 57 kilos.
Yeah.
So the battle in this one is for first place, and this one is a hot.
This one looks really good, and I've got a great level of appreciation for this weight category because it's Kelly's, and I feel like I can really look at the weights they're doing and really just appreciate them. I already know that we've got a lot of excitement with the ladies competing in this weight category, and they're all strong.
Yeah.
So we have Becky Clark, Vicky Barlow, and Sandra Slowick. Before we do get into this, and I'd like to think that was fine, but one thing I do want to say is if I do pronounce anybody's names wrong, then I apologize and I'm stupid, okay? But we'll just do our best to pronounce names correct.
Yeah. Yeah, so these three, as you've kind of looked up in open powerlifting, they're very close.
Ridiculously close,
Their totals are...
So for the totals, so going off of open powerlifting, so we've got Becky Clark at the top at the minute, so she's 362.5. Then 10 kg below her, we have Vicky Barlow at 352.5. And then 10 kg below Vicky Barlow, we have Sandra at 342.5. So we have 20 between the three of them.
Yeah, this 20 kilos can be gapped in a day, really.
Well, if one of these ladies goes 9 for 9 and the other two don't, that could be the difference. So there's a lot of excitement, I think, with this. So for the first one then, we have to give our predictions, who we think out of these three ladies is going to win. Well, finish first. So
in the category.
Yeah. So who do you think would finish first?
It's a really rough kind of like prediction.
It's a nice first one.
Because you got Becky on deadlifts, you got Vicky on bench, and you got Sandra on squats. Yeah. Those are three different kind of specialists in their own right in this one category.
They assemble, don't they?
So their strategies going in are going to be vastly different from each other. So Sandra's going to probably try and get a quick win with the squats and get
start off strong. Quick.
Like if Vicky pulls with the bench, it's going to be harder for Becky to pull over that bench.
With it,
But as you mentioned, Becky has a really strong deadlift and can pull for the win. Yeah. So again, it's one of the most exciting kind of like categories that we have in Welsh Champs. But
so you say about the squat, right? So before you give your prediction, so Sandra's on open powerlifting, her best squat is 135. And then Becky and Vicky are both on 130. So their squat is still really close. Their bench, so Vicky being the better bencher out of the three, going off open powerlifting, her bench is 70. And then it's followed by Becky at 65 and then Sandra at 60. So again, although Vicky's bench is the best, the same as Sandra's squat is the best, they are still really close. And then we go into the deadlifts. And then this is where Becky really is able to kind of showcase where she's currently at with her deadlift, because that's her best weapon, really. So her best to date on open powerlifting is 167.5. I believe the current record is 172.5. I don't think it is. I think it's just over 170. So she's not far off the Welsh record as it stands. And then Vicky's best deadlift is 152.5 and Sandra's is 150. So as you can see, they're very tight on everything. But when we get into the deadlift, that is where Becky pulls away. And it's worth noting that the deadlift is where you can pull for the win. You can load what you need. John Bermudez said it on the last episode. I think we all agreed that if you could choose one lift to be a specialist in, we were all going deadlift. And like John said, as long as that person can stay with the pack, and Becky can do just that. And then when it comes to deadlift, she'll load what she needs. And while loading what she needs, she's probably also taken the Welsh record. So if they all have the perfect day, that I feel it will kind of go in that direction.
As a person who goes off probability, so Becky has the best chance of.
So your prediction, you're loading in that prediction.
Yeah.
So you're going to go Becky for the 57 women, yeah? So Brian's is Becky then, and then again, we can only really go off the open powerlifting. We it'd be a bit creepy if we had a network of people monitoring everybody's progress in the gym and training. So right now, I would agree with that. So we'll both lock in Becky then for first place. 57.
Nothing to down Vicky and.
Oh no,
Sandra,
definitely
but
not.
This is just based on what's available on open powerlifting.
Yeah, exactly that. So
it's also kind of a benefit to us that we train with Becky and Sandra.
Yeah.
So we know what they're like in terms of training.
I saw Vicky's performance in the Phil Richard Classic, so the same one that Reese and I had done, and she was amazing.
Yeah.
But that was also not that long ago. Whereas it's been a while since Becky last competed. So she's had nice time. It could be she's a little, the nerves might creep up because she's maybe out of the groove a little, or she's able to showcase what she's built in that time. Yeah. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. So that will definitely be one that we've got our eyes on come game day.
All right, next one, women's 63, and this is for first place.
First place 63. Yeah. So what I found most interesting about this, so this is the weight cat that Tamara Dunkley is in, who we've already spoken about coming back from the injury. Yeah. So if we were to look at open powerlifting and just look at what Tamara's done at her best, then she looks head and shoulders above the rest. But if we were to look at her most recent comp and the numbers that she's put up, she's actually quite close with Nicole Pickford.
Yeah.
So naturally, all athletes are progressing. That's why we show up to the gym every week. So I think it could be quite close between these two.
Yeah. As we've mentioned earlier, in terms of kind of like injury, Tamara's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
So in terms of progression and kind of momentum for her, it puts her in a good standing on getting into the higher 80s, into the 90s, where she was prior to this injury.
Getting back to it, yeah.
She's having that momentum. So in terms of Nicole's very strong.
She got 85.58 GL, which is incredible.
Again, very respectable.
What do you think? Who are you going for?
I'm going to go underdog. So I'm going to go Nicole. Oh! I feel Nicole, she is, when you ever see her in the gym, in PB, when I used to train there, she very much laser focused, kind of like, just get her stretch done, making sure she's and she will just lift. From what I see, she seems like she's working hard.
Yeah, no, that's really exciting.
I think that in kind of more prediction kind of way, I like that projection.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. So Nicole did Brits the same time as Kelly. Met her there, and she was lovely. And yeah, like you said, respectfully strong. But for me, the first time I really saw Tamara powerlifting was for my first comp at Summer Cup last year, and this is where she put these numbers up that I just mentioned. That puts her close to Nicole. Tamara, I could tell by watching her that she was there just to regain some confidence, get a comp under her belt, and that was just another block in the path with her recovery. Yeah. She went 9 for 9. Every lift I watched her do was executed to pretty much perfection. Yeah. So this comp for her was just a momentum builder, just kind of gauging where she's at, and she had an awesome day. So it's hard for me to not see her winning the ladies 63 with how I watched her perform at Summer Cup, going 9 for 9 and just executing everything so well. So that's our first separation. Yeah. That's really interesting. So I'm going to go for Tamara. You're going to go for Nicole. Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
So women's 76.
76.
So so there's two contenders. There is Millie, who also trains at Zero. Yeah. And you got Carol McQuillan Edwards. She competed in the Phil Richards Classic. Again, finding her groove, trying to build those momentums. But again, when she performs, again, like Tamara, she is very much dialed in.
She is an absolute beast.
She is.
When I first joined PB, she was one of the lady powerlifters there then, and she was lifting more than most of the men in the gym. She was an absolute monster.
Yeah.
So her best GL on open powerlifting is 92.4.
Yeah.
Her most recent comp, so again, like Tamara, coming back from the injury, nursing an injury, her most recent comp, she did an 85 GL.
Yeah.
So she's on that road to recovery as well. And, you know, we're hoping, I know that was a steady comp for her.
Yeah.
Again, just momentum, getting a little bit of confidence back in. That was a steady 85 GL comp, which is crazy. So we probably see these two, Millie and Carol, as a close match, don't we?
Yeah, but in terms of like Millie, we know her, we see her train every day. She's also a monster in herself.
Oh yeah.
In and out, in the gym, just lifting. You know?
I think Miss Powerlifting in South Wales, essentially.
Miss Powerlifting.
No, Millie is everything powerlifting, and absolutely love that about her.
She's also the gym's DJ.
Yes, she is. She is. If you ever walk into Zero and you're a little thrown out by the music choices, and they feel a little sporadic, and they're jumping from one thing to the other, that's because we have DJ Millie at the booth.
I don't know. Sometimes she gets it right, and she gets the vibe.
No, for sure.
And I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah,
and also Jordan. I've seen Jordan on Saturday. Millie played Saturdays one night or one day, and Jordan the next week was still playing that.
Yeah, I noticed he put it on for his top set.
His top set.
I tell you, somebody who does enjoy a lot of Millie's music is Jerwin, and I've seen his hips thrust a lot when Millie puts music on. He is enjoying himself.
Yeah.
He really is. So, prediction time.
So, in terms of kind of where Carol is at the moment with the injury, she's going places. She's going to get to the place where she wants to go. But in terms of the current situation right now, Millie's going to take this one in.
You're going for Millie?
Yeah. Because if you think about it, it's Millie's hitting 90 plus.
Millie's best GL today is 93.45.
So 93.45 is really respectable. It's almost it's in the elite kind of like
touch wood,
GLs.
Hasn't had an injury, building lovely momentum, had a great British performance last year.
Yeah.
She is riding a wave and she is not slowing down. Yeah. She looks incredible. So you're locking in Millie?
Yeah, locking in Millie.
I'd have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go for Millie.
Up a 0.
Yeah, maybe 0 bias there. Yeah. No, that's really interesting. So far we just disagree on one. Mm-hmm. So which are we jumping into next?
Shall we go into then 84 plus?
84 plus is a really good one. And first place prediction?
First place prediction on this one again, like the rest so far, it is very much first place predictions. So we have Caitlin Davis and Mel Rosethorn.
Yep. Yeah. So what's really interesting about this is if you were to look onto open powerlifting, so Caitlin has the bigger total by 5 kg. Mm-hmm. So they're pretty much on the same total.
Yeah.
Just 5 kg between them, which, don't get me wrong, is a lot on the day. That's a lot on a bench press and stuff. But the GL points, Mel has the GL points. So just to help people understand, when it comes to winning your weight category, all that really matters is your total. The GL points then would be for best female lifter. For best lifters. So with what we're looking at the best total. Mm-hmm. The reason Mel has got a smaller total than Caitlin, but a slightly bigger GL, is because her body weight is lower. But we're just going to look at that total and give our prediction as best as we can. Yeah. So another thing I want to mention on this, before you jump into your prediction, is Mel has the bigger deadlift.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm kind of like spinning my answer to.
Yeah.
I've seen both of them lift in Home Nations up in Glasgow.
Right, I might need you. Right, you're going first then, because I need you on this one.
Why do you need?
So I haven't really seen Caitlin lift. Okay. I've seen Mel lift, and I think Mel looks amazing.
Both very good. Mel's not Mel. Caitlin's done a lot of international comps.
Yeah. Experience.
For bench. again, she has a lot of experience, and all the numbers are there for her.
Yeah.
But what's really impressed me is Mel's deadlift, as you
Yeah.
touched on. I remember just watching her in Home Nations, and just picking it up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I'm like, damn, those are some big numbers coming from Mel. And every time she would come up for like deadlift attempt, I'd be shouting, I'd be like, come on,
Yeah.
you got it.
Just stand up.
Up.
So who are you going for?
It's Mel.
You're going Mel? So,
but Caitlin's squat is huge.
This is my thought on this. So, obviously, I've seen Mel train in the gym, really like Mel, but Mel competed recently. I think she did Small Nations, right? That's right? Not that long ago. Caitlin, her most recent comp was British Bench.
British Bench only.
So, it's not as taxing on the body.
That's right.
So, she's had a little longer to come into this comp.
Yeah.
And for that reason alone, I'm going to go Caitlin.
Yeah.
I feel like she's been brewing something up, and she'll come in quite strong with great momentum. So it makes me nervous, but yeah, I'm gonna go Caitlin for that. I'm thinking she's gonna be primed for it. Good. Yeah. Okay. Lock it in.
Lock it in. And to round off the women's section, we have women's best lifter. So on the day, best GL, best weight to kilos lifted.
Yeah.
We'll give you best lifter.
Yeah.
But in the women's category, we are looking at 3 lifters. We got Millie, as we mentioned before, for the 76s.
Yeah. Christina looks really good, yeah.
Yeah, Christina Keogh Bennett.
Yeah.
And also Jodie Bainan.
Yeah, Jodie Bainan, yeah. Also, going back to Tamara and Carol, if they both have a good day close to where they've been previously, they would also be in contention.
Yeah.
So we're now going to predict who we think is going to be the best female lifter.
Best female lifter.
Okay, so best female lifter. Where are you at with this?
So we had a little discussion before actually going into this, and actually
don't tell them that.
And we had to do our research. We had to, before we actually.
This is fresh off the bonnet.
But Christina, I've seen her lift.
Yeah.
I haven't really personally spoken to Christina, but she's been consistent kind of with her performance.
Yeah.
All her comps. Very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong. I think in the...
Has she got great execution?
Great execution. I wouldn't say she was the kind of like highlights of kind of like the comps that she has or I've seen.
Yeah.
But looking at her recent comp and her previous comp before that, it's a little scary. So...
Can I add?
Her last comp was Commonwealth in South Africa. Crazy achievement getting to that stage of powerlifting, and she added 5 GL to her overall points.
Yeah,
she did this 3 kilos lighter.
Yeah, I know.
To what she did in the previous. So she jumped from 87. Or 88 GL.
88,
88 GL to
92.
99, which is shy of
literally 93, yeah.
Basically 93, which is insane. You know?
She's in the 69 kg weight class, and she weighed in at 66. She's 3 kg below, and yeah, she's jumped up like 5 GL. So I believe she'd added like 10 kg on her total, lost 3 kg body weight, and increased to 5 GL,
which is insane. To add that on, that's how you would do it. You know, lose a bit of body weight and still keep your strength or push your strength.
Yeah,
that's quite hard to do. And Christina, for given that, I think that's kind of where I'm going.
Yeah.
So if Christina keeps her body weight low, which gives her a little bit more room to gain a bit of lean mass and potentially more strength in this competition.
Yeah.
Hence why my decision is there with Christina. Jodie, though, she's a performer.
This is the thing now, right? So Jodie, I'm so sorry if I'm wrong, right? But I believe she won Best Female Lifter last year.
Yeah.
And right now, what we've got in open powerlifting is a 485 total for Jodie, at a 91.59 GL. I know how much Jodie wants to hit that 500 total, and I'm confident. I'm confident she's doing that at Welsh Champs. I haven't looked to see what GL that would give her, but something else worth mentioning is, as we just touched on Christina and how good she's looking. Millie, her highest GL to date is 93.45.
So overall,
just over Christina. Yeah. Just over Christina, but I believe Millie trains at a slightly heavier body weight, and she drops weight into her comps. It obviously works for her really well with a great momentum and that wave that she's riding, like I mentioned. But with Christina, there's a lot of excitement building because she's got body weight to play with, and she's obviously progressing strength as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're locking in Christina?
I'm locking in Christina, but Jodie, she does perform. Like on the day when people are like on her side, really supporting her.
Yeah.
She gains extra like kgs from.
I think there's that, and also Jodie strikes me as the type of person. If somebody's doubting her, I think she would just go to that next level.
Yeah.
So if you're not picking Jodie, I think that would be something to spur her on and just to really stick it in your face.
But I'm just saying that's very close. Like when Jodie puts her kind of like her mind to it, she will get it. I mean, before quite a while from her first comp to now, pulling that 200 and then pulling 200 repeatedly.
Yeah.
Breaking that 190 kind of mental barrier. I mean, it's just a progression, and she's just smashed through kind of her goals.
Yeah.
So putting it up there, but as terms of kind of where I'm at with the winner of best lifter, it might be Christina.
So you're locking in Christina?
I am.
I'm torn between Millie and Christina, but I'm gonna go Christina as well.
Okay.
I think it's well set up, isn't it? I'd imagine the problem is we don't know her, we don't see her training, we don't really know anything about her.
Which could be the thing that
the assumption would be that she's been able to just like chill with her body weight, not worry about cutting any body weight or anything, and she's just building strength with her training.
That's if everything goes
that in
well.
itself.
We don't know what's happened like within kind of like traveling to Africa.
But this is the thing. Also, she went to South Africa and done that.
Yeah.
She hasn't done it at a local comp in Wales. So the fact that she's gone she's travelled internationally to put up that GL is incredible in itself. So I think she deserves that prediction from both of us, really.
Yeah,
I think
definitely. I mean, both Millie. I mean, highest GL on paper. She's likely to have already bumped up her kind of totals from that comp.
Yeah.
Still very much in like very close quarters.
Yeah.
But this is just our opinion, just saying that this is where our mind's at, and
okay.
I think that gives the room to play with in terms of body weight is very much could be a nice snatch to kind of winning best lifter.
Yeah. Okay. So we're both going Christina, best female lifter.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So rolling off. So finishing off the ladies. Now we're on to men's 83.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. 83. We have a big lifter in the 83s this year. Owen Hubbard.
Yeah, Owen Hubbard,
world-class lifter, has done worlds many of times. Huge lifts, all three lifts, consistent throughout. Bench, extraordinary, kind of like, I feel like it's very much once in a generation type bench specialist. Getting to those like 200 plus benches.
But it's not even just his bench, like his open powerlifting. He's got a 280 squat, a 302.5 deadlift.
Yes.
And then he's got the 218.5 bench. But it's not even just about his bench. It's just his best total's 777. He's an 83 kg lifter. And his highest GL is 107.89.
Which is beyond kind of like your average lifter. Way more. Even your good lifters.
I think 100 GL and above, you're just an international elite athlete.
Yeah.
Within powerlifting, and that's exactly what he is.
Yes, right.
So having him come into the Welsh Champs, into the 83s, again, when we were talking about up and coming athletes being able to kind of compete with people that they might look up to, that's an example of just that. Before we do continue into the men's, which I'm very excited to talk about, just in case we haven't already mentioned it, the entries for Welsh Champs hasn't closed yet.
Yeah.
So there is a chance. So at the moment of us recording this and giving our predictions, there might be a couple of people enter after we've done the recording, which would throw some of our predictions out. But at the time of doing this recording, this is the roster and the entries that we have. Yeah. So yeah, let's hope nobody throws out our predictions.
Yeah. So we'll give a nod off to Owen.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm wrong saying that there's a 99% chance that he's going to take first in this category.
At most, let's be realistic about it, probably best male lifter as well.
Yeah. So in terms of 83 kilo category, the fight is really for second place.
Yeah,
and this is what we're going to base our predictions on. It's not going to be who's going to win 83. It's going to be who is second.
Nice. Okay, so we have to choose who we think is going to finish second.
Yes.
Instead of first.
The second place fight is a little bit more.
Yeah.
So there's more contentious to it, and it's a lot more close.
Yeah. So if you are watching this, Owen, you've really thrown us out. So we have to now go for second place predictions.
We can't just say who's going to win 83 and we're like it's
yeah.
And then not talk about anyone else. Yeah. There's a close fight in second, so we are going to focus on that.
You will also notice that there are weight categories between the women and men's that we haven't probably dialed in predictions on, and it's probably because of similar reasoning really that maybe there is somebody who's sitting as a strong favourite for that first place. So for this one then, we're going to try and predict second. I mean, there are loads of athletes in this list that we're familiar with.
There's three that we have on our list. So it's John Bermudez, our lovely coach.
Yeah, Coach Carter.
Tom Harvey, and Bolu.
Something I want to mention about Tom Harvey is that he's a junior, and going off the numbers he's got as a junior, he looks exceptional. Right now, going off his open powerlifting, he's sitting in second place as a junior. So we've got around 8 people in this weight category competing against each other. Yep. We've already said that we've got Owen Hubbard at the top. Hopefully he shows up, he has a good day, and then we're putting him in first place. And then Tom Harvey right now off open powerlifting is sitting in second as a junior lifter, which I think is incredible. So fair play to him. Before we go any further with these predictions, I think he deserves credit for that. So fair play for that. So going back to then the people that we know. So you'd mentioned John Bermudez, the local guru in the picture frame there. Bolu is also in 0 now, who also has started giving John a bit of friendly banter. I think between Bolu and Aaron going after his deadlift, as you know, he's also in this weight category. John has got 2 people in 0 who are just basically eyes on him with everything he does now. Yeah. And he's loving it. I think it's going to bring the best out in John. And I'm excited to see, I hope more people jump on him in the prep, just because I'm excited to see it all come together for John at Comp Day. I think it'll be special.
Yep, it is that. So predictions.
Second place for the 83s at this year's Welsh Champs. For me, I can't look past John Bermudez. Little bias, but I can't. Tom Harvey looks really good, but he's competed quite recent.
Could have that carry something.
Yeah, and just seeing John's momentum, seeing him fill into the 83 weight cat, because he was a light 83 when he last competed in his first 83 comp. I think he's going to put up something really nice.
Really good bench, really good squats. Deadlifts are turning on.
So John's numbers today on open powerlifting, he's got a 225 squat, which was done at a 74, wasn't it? Yep. He's got a 165 bench, which was done as a light 83, and then he's got a 242.5 deadlift. And that's the same deadlift that Aaron Lee has said he's going to take. And we agree Aaron Lee will probably take that because he looks good and primed for it. But John is probably looking to put potentially 20 kg on that deadlift with how his training's going. So for me, I'm going to go for John for second.
Yeah, and I think it'd be. Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree. He's just locked in. You know, he's again. He's a performer. He'll delve in, and he will execute.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's bringing the best out in him with other people around him taking these shots. I think that's going to add to his fire. And also, we just don't want to be dropped as Bravo performance athletes. So if we don't choose him as second, we're going to get dropped. So
we got you, coach.
We got you, sonny boy. Right. So so we've both locked in John as our second place prediction.
Yep.
What's next?
So it's another big category. The men's 93.
The 93.
We're looking at first place. We're looking at Jamie
Cadogan.
Yeah. James Tambali, my brother.
Yeah.
And Lewis Davis.
Yeah, those three look good.
So overall, as it is, Jamie is, his open powerlifting, he's got
99 GL, and I'm confident he's going to get the 100 GL that he wants
in Welsh Camp,
at Welsh Champs. Yeah. So yeah, we've got Jamie with his best total to date being a 740 total, and then we've got James Tambali, so Brian's brother, with a 725 total, and then Lewis Davis from West Wales, so one of my West Walian cousins. He has got a 720 total. So there's only 5 kg between him and James. And then Jamie then is sitting a healthy 15 above that.
Yeah, this is a tough one because as Jamie is very much on paper the strongest out of the three, there is a potential of losing your certain attempts in each kind of categories, and I think in terms of James and Lewis, I think they are a little bit more consistent in terms of performance. I think my James, I might be biased, but this is stats. Went 9 for 9 for his first comp, 9 for 9 for his second comp, and then 8 for 9 in home nations.
So this actually confused me. Has James only done 3 comps? Mm-hmm. So when I was actually going through open powerlifting and pulling the stats and stuff together, I don't know. I just assumed that James had competed loads. And then when I found his open powerlifting, I thought I hadn't found his open powerlifting. And I was like, this can't be right. Because I just thought he was a bit of a veteran, really, with obviously how strong he is. Yeah. And like when you see him compete, he looks like he belongs in, looks like he's been doing it for years.
He holds himself the same as, your high performance powerlifters.
Yeah.
He has the same attitude, same kind of habits. As the other lifters, but yeah, it's his third comp. So
that really confused me. Yeah. He does just look like somebody that's been around the block a couple of times, been there, done it, and is just maintaining a high standard.
Yeah, his progression right now it's constantly being an up. He's adding on GL like in every comp. I mean, Jamie as well as Lewis.
Yeah,
do the same. They're in this position as it is.
I am so excited. I want to hear your prediction.
But it is very much Jamie as the top kind of person in this category. But if he has a little bit of wobble in the day,
he'd be taking big jumps on his squats because his squat is so strong.
Both in James are in striking distance. In terms of dropping one attempt is just going to...
It's quite tight, really.
It becomes a lot harder to kind of push for that, to beat 100. I think Jamie's goal is to go over 100 GL, but that comes with consequences. You're taking more risk if you're going for that goal. I think there is a potential of kind of dropping attempts.
Yeah. So you think out of those 3, James Tambali and Lewis Davis are most likely to have a 9 for 9 day?
Consistent, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But in terms of kind of like my prediction, I'm going to go for my brother.
Yeah?
Yeah,
maybe.
Just because.
Oh, I like that.
I know how he is, and I gotta back him, and he has surprised me so many times.
Yeah.
Lifting, there was times in Home Nations where he's putting out attempts, and I'm like, can he actually do that?
Yeah.
And he goes up on the platform and just does it, and I'm kind of like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
You know, there's been such a step since his second to third comp, and excited to see what's kind of like beyond that.
Yeah. Oh man. So tell me, James's 260 squat. How did that move?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It was surprising, because the most
As in, he didn't empty the tank.
I don't think he emptied the tank, no.
Oh man.
So I was watching him, and then I thought his best squat was 245. I did 15 kilos, and I didn't know where that came from.
Yeah.
I think everyone that was with me in Home Nation was just like, 260. Isn't that like a big jump?
Yeah.
And he just goes up and does it.
Oh no, I like that. Yeah, back in your brother.
Yeah.
So
squat, he has a big bench. Deadlift can be worked on, but his deadlift's currently.
But his deadlift, right, on open powerlifting is 280.
Yeah.
That's above Jamie's, and it's 2.5 behind Lewis.
Yeah.
So his deadlift is not to be sniffed at.
No, it's definitely not. Again, he is there in the pack, you know. If he had a little bit more edge on one of the other lifts, like put a bit more on his bench, put a bit more on his squats, and I think he's he's capable of adding those stuff on.
Yeah.
I think he's in like a really good position to hit to the high 90s.
So you say about putting a little more on his bench, which is currently at 195.
Yep.
Do you think there's a 200 kg bench coming from him?
Yeah, I think so.
A Welsh Champs?
Not Welsh Champs, but in terms of kind of like maybe squats, that's probably the best place to put his
to get some numbers in.
To get some numbers in. But I think he'd be close to his bench. I don't think it would be very hard to say. It depends on the day. I need to see him on the day and how he's mentally there.
Yeah.
But usually, if he's feeling it, he's going for it.
And Ellen will also be competing.
Ellen, his girlfriend, Ellen's going to be competing. She's as a 60.
I believe it's a 63.
63.
No. Actually, no. I think I'm wrong there. I think 2 seconds. Just bear with me. I believe she will be a 69.
69.
Yeah.
Again, very strong. Ellen's started lifting because of James.
Yeah.
And again, she's very strong. As only doing 2 comps, I believe.
Yeah, she hasn't done many. Yeah, but 69.
But she's she has a good foundation on kind of getting really strong. Yeah.
So you're gonna go for your brother.
Yeah, my brother.
Okay.
I know you're a big Jamie fanboy.
Yeah, I am a bit of a Jamie fanboy. I am, yeah. There is a bit of an inside knowledge though on James. He does have a little niggle right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he has a little. It's been a while now, maybe a month or 2, but so far I've seen on his Instagram he's training quite strong. Again, more regular.
You're making my decision so hard. Oh.
It's not meant to be easy.
Okay, no, that's fair. Loading the predictions, baby. Right, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jamie.
Jamie.
Cadogan, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that objectively, going off the open powerlifting. And yeah, again, it keeps it interesting between us.
I mean, Lewis is still there, striking distance, could nab.
This is your brother. 9 for 9 in Home Nations?
No, 8 for 9.
Okay.
He missed his deadlift. But Lewis, again, he's still very strong.
Yeah, this is the problem.
It's so close
with these
between
three.
These 3.
If there's missed attempts, that's going to be the difference, really.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, I'm going to stick with Jamie.
Good.
And then you're going to stick with James.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to the next one.
So we're moving on to men's 105. And we're looking at first place for this one. And there is... do you want to take it out this one?
Yeah, I've actually got a bit to say on this one. So we both know Reece Boswell quite well, who trains in zero with us.
Yeah.
This is going to be his first comp as a 105.
Yeah. Coming up from the 93.
He was a 93, and his best total as a 93 was 712.5 with a GL score of 93.26, which is incredible. He's filling in the 105 weight cat. If you're watching this, Reece, you need to start wearing black clothing in the gym. That red t-shirt is not flattering on you now, right? Father to son, look after yourself, right? But something I've noticed with Reece.
Father?
Me. He's made that very clear. I'm the papa. So with this, you got Luke Fadipe, I think. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Luke is last year's champion and is crazy strong. His best total as an established 105 is 742.5.
Yeah. In terms of raw strength, Luke is just so strong. I remember weightlifting, and I'm gonna give this story, but he grabbed the bar. It was 60 kilos. It was a warm up, but to front raise a bar wide grip overhead, in one motion, it was crazy.
Just straight up.
Yeah, straight up, and I was just like, this guy, just mogging on my weights.
Leave my bar alone.
Leave my bar alone.
Okay, so we've got Reece Boswell, Luke Fadipe, and William Greaves, who we probably see as top 3 as considerations for this one, finishing first.
Yeah, definitely.
I do want to mention Jerwin, who trains with us in zero. He, I believe, will be securing his 300 deadlift in this competition.
Yeah.
He went for the 295 at the Phil Richard Classic, and
lost it on grip.
I don't know if he lost it on grip. I think he was teasing with the crowd a little bit.
I don't know.
I think he decided, do you know what? I'm going to let them wait until Welsh Champs. He didn't want to show off his cards too soon, I think.
Oh, I'd like to think that, but how explosive that like grip loss or his failed attempt.
Yeah.
I don't think you can reenact that or like act that out.
No, he's smooth. He operates in a smooth manner. Is he hitting 300 kg deadlift at Welsh Champs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm all for like our boy Jerwin.
Yeah, I would back Jerwin for that.
Part of the triple of your JDR competition.
Well, me, him, and Reece all had 280 deadlift on the day, and I've told Jerwin that basically now means whatever he achieves in the deadlift, I can basically do the same. So Reece and I have tagged on to his deadlift. We're not doing Welsh Champs. Whatever he technically does from now on until I next compete basically means that's where I am. That he's just I'm able to gauge my deadlift now to where his goes. So hopefully
Jerwin's just a measurement.
Yeah. So hopefully he gets a 300 deadlift for me, him, and Reece.
Yeah.
And then we're all groovy.
No pressure.
So for the lads, Jerwin, please see off the 300.
But in terms of contentions in this category, what is your opinion?
So Reece Boswell,
yes.
What I want to say about him is it doesn't seem that long ago he seemed quite nervous about this. And he was expressing his concern when he first saw a couple of these names come in on the roster for Welsh Champs. And I remember then, as I said, that father-son relationship, trying to kind of reassure him and provide confidence where he's going, how good his training's looking. Fast forward to this week, the level of arrogance he has got while strutting around the gym is just, I can't comprehend it. So he's gone from a sheepish, insecure character a couple of weeks back to he is overlooking everybody.
I don't know. I feel like he has that like authority right now. Did you see what he did like Thursday in terms of deadlift?
Week 1, 265 for 4, or was it for 5?
4 for 5.
It was for 5. It was.
And he came up to us earlier, or like after that deadlift, and it was smooth.
Yeah. Only he emphasized how smooth it was, mind.
He did.
He wasn't trying to be modest, was he?
No. But that momentum.
Yeah.
Is giving that push.
He's making it very clear to a lot of people in the gym that he is going to become the big dog.
He's gonna take that deadlift. He's gonna go over his 300 and
the deadlift, his best deadlift is, he's registered a 300, but I believe he's done 305.
305, and then he's going to take John's bench.
He's wanting to, yeah.
He's wanting to take his John's bench, and then squats, he's going to take everyone's, your squats?
His squats are, so his best squat is 257.5, 257.5. He's definitely going to go better than that with the weight gain.
He's done more than that in the gym already.
What's really interesting about Reece is, and it's a little nerve-wracking really for me, if he wins this Welsh Champs, he gets automatic entry for the next year's Welsh Champs. Yeah. And he's basically said, Dragon's Harvest, where me, you and Rhys Davies are going to compete, Rhys Boswell has said if he's got automatic entry for next year's Welsh Champs, he will weigh in as a slightly heavy 105 so that he can do the Dragon Harvest as a 120 with me and Rhys Davies.
Oh my God.
The disrespect coming out of that man's mouth. He's a bully in that gym. He really is.
Seems always very nice to me.
So what's your prediction?
Maybe to his competition he's not as welcoming.
Yeah, he doesn't make me feel like competition. He's just rude all the time. I'm surrounded by Reeses. My life is all about Reece. What's your prediction?
Maybe release yourself. My prediction. I mean, Luke is so strong, like raw strength. We haven't spoken about Will.
Yeah,
but I haven't really known about his lifting. So would you be able to?
Yeah, for sure. So, William Greaves' best total today is 715, which is 2.5 above Rhys Boswell.
Yeah.
But Will is an established 105, so that total's been done as a 105, where Rhys's was done as a 93.
Yes.
Also, William Greaves done Phil Richards Classic, which isn't that long ago. Whereas Rhys Boswell did Home Nations, I believe was his last comp. So he's had a little bit more time to build. Nations? Yeah. No, Commonwealth, wasn't it?
In South Africa?
Yeah. No, it was, wasn't it? That was Rhys's.
Did he go to South Africa?
Yeah. Yeah, no, actually, Commonwealth is his last comp, yeah.
October last year?
Yeah, that's his last comp. So he's had plenty of time to build. And then with regards to Luke Fadipe, I don't know when he last competed.
He's competed recently in the last year he has. I can't remember
Just
when.
to get his QT. Yeah. Well, no, he didn't need a QT. He got an automatic entry.
He was injured for a while and then he came back slowly. He did his teething and kind of like his momentum building, and then he's now into it. So I'm pretty sure that he's the numbers that we're going to see are the numbers that we're going to get in the comp.
Yeah. So do you think he's still at it?
I'm up for boy Reece, you know.
So your prediction is going to be Rhys Boswell.
Bring it up.
Okay.
And plus, it'd be great just to watch him kind of just like assert his dominance in the gym. Mainly you, Reece, and John.
Yeah, that I would I'd quite enjoy
just
that.
Never let you guys like live it down.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm gonna say Rhys Boswell. You know, providing that bit of support to our boy.
I mean, Luke, if he on the day if he's going for a 200 bench is there, he has the capacity to do that.
You think he's got a 200 bench?
Yeah.
His best registered is 182.5.
I think he can do it.
That would be impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're both back in Rhys Boswell on the loaded predictions to finish first in the 105 at Welsh Champs. What have we got next?
Next is men's 120 plus. First place.
120 plus.
So this one's a little
first place,
tricky.
yeah?
Yeah, so this is a little tricky.
Yeah, this is quite tricky because we got Thomas and Rick, who both done British Nats together.
Yep.
And what's quite interesting is there was 5 kg between them. So Tom had an 800 total and Rick had an 805 total.
Yep.
Rick went 9 for 9. Tom went 8 for 9, missing his third bench. So these two are extremely close. Something else on Tom is his deadlift is looking incredible. We know we favour the deadlift with these predictions because it's the last lift to be done.
That is.
And his best deadlift to date is 330. The current Welsh deadlift record for this weight cat, 120 plus, is 340 by Michael Jones. I believe Tom will be taking that Welsh deadlift record at Welsh Champs.
For the 120.
So he's going to have a very strong deadlift on the day.
He is.
Then we've also got Josh Jones in the 120 pluses. Recovery plus. Got his merch on.
Yep.
So what's interesting here is Josh's total to date isn't as high as the other two. But as far as his squat and bench go, he's pretty much with them. He's in the pack. What has been letting him down is his deadlift. But I would say in the last several months, Josh's deadlift has started to click and it's started to look really good. I was at last year's Welsh Champs where Josh's last deadlift pull let him down. But I believe his deadlift is on the up and he's really finding his groove with it.
Yeah.
So once Josh gets his deadlift to where we all know it can be, he is going to be in contention as well.
Yeah.
So with your prediction on this now, what do you think? Would you want to know? Do you want to know more stats?
No.
Oh, you seem confident.
Yeah.
Who are you going for?
Thomas. The BFG.
Oh, the BFG, yeah.
He is very friendly. He's very big.
He is. The hugging bear.
Yeah.
Always greeted with a hug from Tom.
Good guy.
You're going to go for Tom. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would agree with that. I'm also going to go for Tom as our 120 plus Welsh Champs winner 2025.
Mm-hmm. And that finally rounds us off to our last
We're on the
category.
10th spot.
Yeah, 10th spot is
of the loaded predictions.
Best lifter, second place. Again, this is a situation.
Best male lifter now, yeah?
Male lifter is for second place. It's just because overall, GL-wise, if Owen Hubbard is not just going for QT for British nationals,
yeah,
and he's going all out on this one, then Owen Hubbard is easily going to.
You have just given me a thought. Like, what if he is just
exactly?
I didn't think about that. What if he is just planning on having an 8 RP day?
Yeah, because to him, his playing field or the place that he wants to be at is British national.
He might not want to. He probably might not see that we're emptying the tank.
Exactly. So just using this as a QT.
I didn't think about that.
To get to British.
Yeah.
But if he goes on to kind of going ahead and just smashing his competition.
Yeah.
And getting what he wanted, he's gonna get first. Very close to over 100, easily over 100.
Yeah, and I do think he's going to want to finish as best male lifter. I think he is great representation for Wales.
Yeah.
And I think he takes a lot of pride in that. Yeah. So I can imagine he's going to want to have best male lifter as well. So hopefully he goes for maybe a 9 RPE day just to kind of showcase a little bit for us.
And then you got the two that are very close to hitting their 100 GL.
So I actually want to say something on this now, right? So the next two we've got is Jack Lewis and Jamie Cadogan, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I am not familiar with Jack Lewis, and when I was going through, when I was kind of going through open powerlifting, looking at the roster and trying to find out all the statistics for everybody, this caught me by surprise. Yeah. And I actually thought I'd stumbled across something wrong or typed something in wrong when this person came through. When Jack Lewis came through as 100 GL, 100.99 GL, so basically 101 GL. I had to look another 2-3 times to make sure I was doing
the right thing.
Yeah, because that's more my fault. I should know, but I didn't know. Casually putting his name in, I was like, realized this guy's a beast.
It's a hard one because if you look at Jack's Instagram, he's very much full on Welsh, you know. Yeah. But from sources that we've gotten now, he was out in university, so he's been competing in England, essentially.
Yeah.
And now graduating, has come back to lay waste.
Yeah.
But
some say that's why John Bermudez has gone up to an 83.
Yeah, I think he was like, thank God
that was close.
Kind of move. So Jack Lewis is a 74 kg lifter.
Yeah.
And he's putting up huge numbers to get him to this 100 GL, 101 GL.
Yeah, so the numbers. So he's a 74 kg lifter. He's got a 250 squat, a 180 bench, and a 272.5 deadlift. A total of 685, which is crazy. Which gives him the 100.99.
That's about 9 times body weight overall.
My math maxes out at 3 times, so I can't give you that, but it's just sensational.
Yeah. So in terms of kind of like in the runnings for second place, I would say between these two.
Between Jack and Jamie?
Yeah. But because we're just diving into these two, kind of just putting them into the second place category anyway. Maybe the more exciting is fourth place.
Yeah.
If Jamie gets it, if Jamie gets second, Jack gets third. If Jack gets second, Jamie gets third.
Something we might be missing with Jamie is his body weight. Because he might have been, I know for a while he was a lighter 93. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure where he sits right now. He might have filled out the 93s a little bit. But then I know how much he wants the 100 GL.
So I think he'll keep his body weight low. As low as possible to hit what he wants. But
it's just whether Jack Lewis on the day is going to show up with 100 GL as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen him lift. Again,
I haven't.
Being away.
Know very little about him.
Exactly. So he's going to be a big wild card in getting his second.
Yeah, a 100 GL lift, a wild card. It's crazy, isn't it? This is poor on us, if anything.
He decided to study in
yeah, kind of your fault, Jack, but also we should know better. But I'm sure you will help us learn. Come
we'll
Welsh
probably
Champs.
meet you in Welsh Champs and just be in awe and kind of like having stuff.
This guy's crazy.
But in terms of kind of, so if Jamie gets second, Jack gets third. Jack gets second, Jamie gets third. But then in the fourth place running, you have names like James Tambali, Dan Gallagher in the 120s, Lewis Davis, Reece Boswell, Luke.
Luke Felipe,
And they're all in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
And it's such a clash.
Yeah.
I think it's a toss up. Like if you get that person like on the fourth, it depends on the day, you know. It really depends on the day. I think that's going to be a really, really close match. Even though second is very like two guys going for 100 GL points, and then fourth place is a mixture of so many close contenders. How many of that? It's like 6 people, 5 people, 5.
Do you think Jamie Cadogan's going to get that at 100 GL? And the reason I'm asking is this: you've backed James Tambali to beat Jamie in the 93s.
Yeah.
So if you're going to back Jamie Cadogan to get 100 GL, obviously I suppose his body weight, isn't it? So maybe your brother could beat him with sitting slightly heavier. Yeah. So he could have slightly less GL, but still beat him in the weight cut, I suppose.
But just looking at this as it is, and looking at just the numbers of open powerlifting, and just seeing if they go that way, then Jamie would be above my brother. But in terms of category, I just want to back my brother.
No, for sure. So what we'll do then is we'll choose our second place, who we think, and then we can maybe
we'll put a nice bonus fourth.
A nice little bonus fourth,
like a nice multiplier.
Yeah.
So I want to go Jack.
You want to go Jack Lewis for second?
Because I feel like there's such a seeing that, like I feel like 100, 101 already over the 100 barrier.
He's a light lifter as well, isn't he?
He's also a light lifter.
Yeah.
So I'm putting my kind of.
I don't know when he last competed.
Doesn't matter.
That would be interesting to know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. At that GL, it probably doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going for Jack.
He's still a Jamie fanboy.
Well, this is the thing. I'm going into that territory now where I will be labelled as Jamie's fanboy if I continue to back Jamie every time. But I do want to back Jamie. But at the same time, no. But at the same time, we do know that GL does support the lighter lifters.
Yeah, it does.
And this is somebody he's not just hit 100 GL, he's hit 101 GL, pretty much. Already.
So, where Jamie is still trying to hit that 100.
Yeah.
Jack's already hit over 100.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to do the same as you. I think I'm going to have to go for Jack Lewis as second on GL.
Hopefully he's consistent on the day.
Yeah, we don't know much about this lifter. We're just going off open power lifting.
Again, yeah.
And then with regards to 4th place, as a little cheeky bonus.
I might as well just close my eyes and pick a name out of a hat.
Well, interestingly, right now, off open powerlifting, 4th place is James Tunbally.
Jeez. Okay.
Are you back in James Tunbally for 4th?
Yeah.
On the day?
Yeah, back my brother. You better do some bits, otherwise I'm gonna look a little dumb.
He better do some bits.
Yeah.
Bring him straight after this.
Yeah. Call him up and be like, you gotta. I've said some things.
Yeah.
I've said some things in the podcast. You gotta pull your weight.
Yeah.
You gotta pull your weight. Like Dad said. Remember what Dad said.
I'm just trying to figure out now. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go 4th place, James Tunbally as well.
Reese is gonna be so upset.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he deserves a little bit of tough love. He's getting a bit big for his boots, Reese is.
Yeah,
but
it depends on the day on this 4th place. As soon as you drop something, it's very much kind of like you're trying to claw back kind of what you've lost. Again, 4th place is such a turbulent kind of position in this category for best lifter, because there's so many people in that mid pack and it's very hard.
Yeah,
but I'm still gonna back up my brother.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good one to back.
Awesome.
Is that us?
So that is us. That's us going through our 10 predictions.
Let us know how you think we did.
Yeah. So what we want to go on from this, let us know what you think.
But what we would love to do is hear what you guys think of us trying to take this approach. And then maybe looking forward to next year's Welsh Champs, we could build up some great momentum well in advance. We'd be more established with the podcast. And then it might be then that we do have some really good interaction with athletes building up to next year's Welsh Champs. So yeah, please let us know what you think, the good and the bad. But we can only get better from here on. And something else I wanted to say, and I feel like in order for us to kind of really establish our YouTube touch, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Or click the notification bell.
Yeah, don't push it, Brian. Don't push it. That's where you lose people when you want to press the bell.
No, you ring it. So every time we make a podcast or post a podcast, you'll be the first ones to know.
You'll be the first ones to know. You won't have to be notified of our Instagram.
So we any questions that you submit to us, it'll be taken on Instagram.
Yeah, and another thing to add on the questions, at any time, if you have a question that you'd like to ask us, send it to us at any time on our private DMs, and we will add that to the list of questions we have, and it will feature in one of our episodes.
Yep. Make sure you use your name so we can shout you out.
Yeah, it's up to you. So if you're comfortable with us saying your name, then we will do. But if you prefer it to be an anonymous question, then just say that, and then we won't use your name.
Cool. And I think that wraps up our podcast for today. I know it's a little jargon heavy. Hopefully you're still with us.
Yeah, and hopefully we made sense.
And
I hope we did.
And hopefully give you some thought on kind of how this Welsh Champs is going.
Yeah.
There is a lot of tight competition. Not that competition.
That's the main competition there.
Yeah. Hopefully next year. Autumn Cup. You could do Autumn Cup.
Yeah.
JDR2.
I do want a bigger one next time, Reese, okay? Just like maybe twice the size. If you could just, every time I win, if you could just make it a little bigger, just to make it look a little better. Right. I want to get to the UEFA Champions League trophy.
All right, okay, we'll call it that.
Yeah.
And keep loading the plates.
Until next time, we are loading the plates. Thank you for watching. Man, how much facts have we got there? I feel like this is going to be a really good episode.